All right, and so I just picked the 4Runner up from the shop a couple hours ago, and they just put the new step rails on. If you haven't seen the previous video leading up to this one, covering the 4Runner, what is going on next with it, went ahead and took delivery of the new 4x4 Victory step rails, the black powder coated ones, or rock sliders if you want to call them that. They basically are the same thing in my opinion. They just protect you from if you go off-roading. So I have that whole setup now, and we're going to take a look at these real quick. These are the factory ones, very light, and I didn't know like that's what they looked like underneath. They look very ugly. So I know that they're like paint matched for the factory look. They look okay, especially if the vehicle is not lifted. I am not sure if the if it's just a sport model and the limited that came with the paint matched running boards for the vehicle itself, as the go along with the paint matched front bumper and rear bumper. So I'm not so familiar with that game, but let's go ahead and take a look at the ones that they put on. Man, they look good. So it took them a couple days to put these on. I dropped it off Friday, went out of town, and the appointment was for Monday, but it took a little more to get these on because some drilling is required. But overall, these look really good, especially for the price. So they are around $1,000. I don't know if that's expensive for step rails or if that's just how much they cost. The original step rails I wanted to put on this vehicle were the amp research ones, the ones where you open the door and the power steps that come out, and then when you close the door they tuck up underneath the vehicle. Unfortunately, they don't make it for this platform, the 3rd gen, so there wasn't a lot of options. So I did some looking around before kind of being committed to the purchase of spending $1,000 on rock sliders, and these just, in my opinion, grabbed my attention when I saw them on the 4Runner, the one that they have them on for the product image. It's very similar to mine. The color is just a little darker, I think like a darkish gray, and the setup is very similar with the roof rack and stuff. That's kind of what sold me on it. But overall, it looks really good. So why I think that you should definitely upgrade the step rails or rock sliders on your 4Runner or overland build is, for one, it's going to protect you if you do take your vehicle off-roading a lot. It's going to protect it from getting like rocks and stuff, getting stuck maybe, messing it up underneath. But also it just looks a lot better, and it's a more, not more functional step rail, but it's gonna look better. That's all I really have for that part, so why you should buy them. But overall, I think it makes the vehicle look a little taller. Illusion is kind of the thing here. With the factory ones, they were a lot beefier, and I mean like bigger, so it's basically like we cut some fat off the vehicle and trimmed it up a lot, and then you took the vehicle to the gym, and then this is what you got. You got some really good looking, like, you know, calf muscles or something, I don't know. But overall, I'll get underneath the vehicle to kind of show you. So this is kind of the drilling and stuff, what they had to do. So a lot of bolts, but overall it looks really good. So kind of it matches the RCI skid plate setup that I have. The engine, transmission, and transfer case one. They don't have one for that, the fuel tank and all that, but overall, looks really good. So the only version I think they come in black powder coat, and I wanted it to match the Baja rack up here. So it definitely does. And it matches the Snowbound Customs Chase Light spoiler. So I went ahead and ordered the 3rd brake light option from Snowbound Customs as well. That is actually on the way, got notification today. So there's the company that makes some of the stuff. So they have the Baja lights, so it's gonna have the same ones, and I think it has 2 red dots, so it passes inspection, or whatever state you live in if you do have inspection. So it still acts as a brake light. But the lens color, instead of amber, I went with a clear lens. I can always switch them out, I'm sure. I think that's just what these little bolts do. You could, I don't know if you just change the LEDs and stuff like that. I've never taken them apart, but went ahead and got the S2 Pro setups for that. And the rear, here's the other side. The welds look really good. Just overall, I feel like it changes the way the vehicle looks. Like I said, it makes it look like it sits a little taller. The vehicle was not raised any cents prior to having those factory rails on to having these on. It's just, I don't know, I was on the fence for a while about spending money on step rails. I did like the factory look. at first, and then people, as convincing as they are, and you're like, oh, come on, you know, it's just so convincing when they tell you to come on, think about it. I did for a while, and I was like, man, it would actually make it look a lot better, a lot cleaner looking. Like I said, you trim the fat on it, and it kind of thins it out, and kind of just blends in together with the whole concept of the vehicle I have here going. Now, the vehicle will never see like off-roading trail type anything like that, but you know, I'm curious to see what it will do here and there a little bit. So at least it will look good doing it. It looks good in my driveway, and looks good driving it around town. The other stuff that I have coming for the vehicle is, I don't think it's going to be able to be done. So I don't want the wiring to eat. I'm sure it could be done, honestly. Like this side right here where my hand is, and then like right here where this, I guess, sticker is. Take that off. It'd be like mounted right there are the Baja lights that I ordered, the Ox Beam ones. I wanted to kind of just have them like one there instead of a light bar, because they do have a application you can order to have a light bar set up in the rear of this roof rack, and I don't want to spend like $1,100 on that, so I went ahead and ordered 4 of them. But I don't think it's possible to mount them right there without, I don't want to like a bunch of wiring sticking out and looking ugly and all that. So what I think we're gonna do is just do the classic overland type 4Runner stuff, and just mount one here and mount the other there, and just have 2 extras just in case, I guess, because to buy 4 to spend about $100, you got 2 extras. So you know what, why not? And we'll just have those there, and then that will match the vehicle a little bit, make it look a little cooler, I guess. We just kind of have that street overland build that the person never really takes it off-roading, but has the off-road lights for whatever reason, you know. I think that's the whole goal here. But diving back into the step rail real quick, there's not really much else you can cover on it. Again, 4x4 Victory. This is just like, I'll do a slow little pan, I guess. There you go, black powder coated. The welds look really nice. They're not shitty looking, especially for $1,000. They are heavy, I will say that. I picked them up individually because they came in 2 boxes. These factory ones are probably like maybe 20-25 pounds. I haven't actually picked one up yet to put in my garage, but I doubt they're that heavy. These alone were about at least, I'd say, 60 pounds. The tech, or the guy that was that when I paid at Ironwood, we were talking about, and he was like, oh, you know, I thought that was like, they were like 50 pounds. I would say 60 pounds, honestly, for each side. So it does add a little weight. I know some people that lift their vehicles, there's different spring rates, so keep that in mind. I do have like a heavier spring in the rear just because of the Baja rack, but when I also ordered the lift kit, I asked Dobinson's, I kind of told him what I would be doing with the vehicle if I ever did tow it, what modifications, because some people put steel rear bumpers. 4x4 Victory does have that as well. Some people change out the rear and front bumpers for the heavier steel ones. So also keep that in mind when you are doing a lift kit. So the front and rear have a heavier spring than just riding around, because I also have the RCI skid plates that add a little weight as well. I don't think I'll ever change the front or rear bumper. I'm pretty sure I'll just keep it as is. Honestly, if I ever did do anything, it would probably be the front bumper, just to add the Ox Beam or Baja pod lights and all that, and add a little more lighting. But that would be a whole different thing if I was honestly having it dedicated for like trail riding or off-roading, or if I lived somewhere that had a lot of land and I wanted to do something like that. But as clean as this vehicle is, honestly, I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to keep it as is. We're going to add the pod lights and make it look a little dumber, but it will be pretty clean still, in my opinion. The taillights are coming. Those will be shipped at the end of August. We're having a KC light little like system or whatever put underneath the hood to add a little lighting, just in case it ever breaks down on the side of the road. There is 2 LED kits that I ordered for it. One that sits at the very bottom of the hood, or near the middle, and then one that sits at the very top of the hood, under like where the hood latch is. So that's going to be pretty interesting to have on there, just to have it anyways. It's not that much. But the only other thing that I think I need to update, the exhaust right here, finally the factory exhaust. And then you'll also get a look at, there you go, they did this side. Everything looks pretty clean under here. You can see right there, there's a little crack in it. When I had it at the shop, they're like, it's nothing to really worry about. It happens, you know, it's probably just rusted out over time. I'm gonna replace it with an exhaust system. I don't know if I'm going to, I don't want something like loud or anything like that. I want to keep it pretty quiet. It is quiet as, you know, as it sits still. It's just got that little kind of small hole that will develop over time. So I was thinking maybe put a, I know MBRP, that's what the Mustang has. Maybe put that on there. I'm pretty sure Borla makes a system. I know Magnaflow makes a system. So I'm gonna do a little like research, maybe on YouTube or something. Add, maybe just order a CapEx system, one that's still pretty quiet, that but might give it a little, you know, touch of a cool little sound, I guess, but also that has like a nice little tailpipe, something shiny, I guess, to make it look a little better instead of the dingy factory look. So that's the only other thing that I think I have coming for this vehicle. Just, you know, we're lifting one vehicle, we're making this one look taller, and on the other one, the Mustang, we're keeping it lowered, because I know once that new K member and stuff is on there, went ahead and ordered the springs for that as well, as since we're talking about spring rates and all that. So the goal for that one is to make it more of a handling vehicle instead of just like a drag racing dedicated vehicle. So I'm pretty sure you can still take it to the track and have no issues, because that K member and all that is still lighter than the factory one, but it weighs a little more than the Team Z. But I really don't care at this point, because the goal of that car is to kind of maybe have it like a take it to like VIR and stuff like that, and just have a really fun street car to eventually this fall have it boosted and have a fun little blower on it. So, you know, we're finishing up here. I think we're doing a pretty good, or on a pretty good pace for both these vehicles. To they're getting a lot of love, which I really like as well, and definitely having fun with it, making some videos for people to watch both builds over this year. Definitely hitting it hard. Last year was basically just getting this thing, getting familiar with the 4Runner, doing a few mods here and there, and then the Mustang was just trying to get that engine, the Coyote and Cobra transmission, the T56 in there, making the car run. And now this year is definitely just kind of finishing out on a pace to basically just have both cars, especially the Mustang, back to at least like a nice factory look, which I think it is. The door panel situation I got corrected, so it's got all those Cobra parts from the same car, which is really cool. The weather stripping and all that's going to be on there and make it look better. It just needs to be painted, and this one is going to get painted too, actually, next year, just because in some of the spots, like that was there when I got it, no big deal or anything. Some of the roof is a little faded, but you can definitely tell right here on the hood scoop a little bit, just the paint on the bumper. I don't know if you can really tell, it's a little faded right here, especially this trim as well. It's starting to peel a little bit, and you know, it just kind of looks cracked and old. So I don't know if I'm going to keep it the same color. You can see right here it's come off, and then faded right here especially. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to keep it this color. If I do just keep it this color, which would probably be the cheapest option, I want to add a little more flake to it, so that way it kind of has like more of a sparkle in the paint. I think that would be really cool. I've also debated maybe painting it one of the newer Toyota 4Runner colors, which would look really nice as well. But we'll see. I'm not gonna like change it to like a different color, like, you know, it's not gonna be blue or white or black or something like that. It's just gonna be something close or very similar to this color, or if not, we're just gonna go with this color and just keep it the way it is, but kind of just add like an updated flavor to the paint itself. So I think that will look really nice, and then at the same time hopefully have the Mustang, if not before or after, I doubt at the same time, because you got to have one vehicle to drive, have that one painted and taken care of as well. That one, it's either just going to be the same silver with a little more flake in the paint as well, or we're going to do like one of the newer S550 thing. It's Ignot, I-G-N-O-T. That's how you spell the color code name for that color. instead of the silver metallic, it's a little brighter, I guess, which I kind of like. So I think that's the route we're going to go with that. So both vehicles are going to look really good, especially next year. So that's it, guys. That's all I got for today. Longer video, of course, but there again, one last look at the 4x4 step rails. I definitely recommend getting a set for your overland or off-road vehicle. It protects a vehicle, apparently. Apparently it's better for like especially climate. It has a little more traction to get yourself in and out of the vehicle. Overall, yeah, I think it looks good. Just one note I will say real quick, some people do complain about these. I have noticed, because the factory rails did sit a little lower, of course, so these are definitely tucked up more under the vehicle. So putting your foot, you know, just like opening the door, my foot's not really getting stuck or anything, but you don't have as much like drop down to put your foot there. So always keep that in mind when looking around for the rock sliders or whatever step rail you want to go with. But overall, I definitely recommend these. Yeah, 100%. Make the vehicle look a lot cleaner, makes it look a little taller, just makes it look better. And yeah, overall, there you go. Let's do it for this video, guys. I appreciate you stopping by. I'll catch you later. Have a good one.